There we go. Oh, I'm in my itch window. So it's Sunday. I am very tired this morning, and I don't particularly know why, because I woke up early, but then I went back to sleep. So we were going to start in this window because we're going to do a Pomodoro to start. We're going to write our morning pages. You can see down here, I have my pen, I have my date stamp, I have my paper. So we are going to do morning pages, but I had just recently realized that in the description, I have had a link that has said, need some help? Download my templates. And I just today noticed that that link was not a specific link. It was only the link to my main itch page. So if you are having trouble finding my templates, I apologize. The correct link should be there now. These are the templates that I use to make zines in the program Pages on an Apple computer. So you've seen this one before, this one in the picture, because this is the one that most of my zines, I do the little mini zine, right? If we just flip over to, Pages. So this is like the worst example too, because it's hard to tell where the pages are. This is the mini zine template. So you can download this one right there. 8-page mini zine template. But I also have, and I should get better at doing different zines, but the mini zine is just so easy to fill that I'd use it for my streams, because I'm like, I can fill this today. And then look at last week, we didn't fill it. So I also have the 16-page accordion one, which is it is smaller than the mini. It's like a little square one. And you can use both sides of the paper. You can fill both sides of paper. I mean, the 8-page one, you can fill both sides of paper too, technically. It's just that when you fold it, one side will be hidden completely, which is kind of fun because you kind of get to do like a little double zine, kind of like I did with my speed zine, if you remember. I'm holding my coffee and not drinking. Apologies. I got to drink it before it gets cold. Man, I just swallowed right into the mic, didn't I? Man, I am bad at this. And then we have a trifold, which is 8.5 by, all of these are 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, by the way. But technically you could print them bigger, and then just get bigger final page sizes. So trifold folds like a brochure, like that, right? So 3 folds, that's why it's called a trifold. Technically it's 6 pages. Maybe I should add that to the file name. And then we have the quarter size zine, which is the classic fold it in half, get a square looking thing. And then I just recently added, because somebody asked, my 16-page quarter zine. So this one is very important for, if I open it up, I'm going to have to change the file, but I will open it up for you. So this one is exactly the same as the 8-page in terms of size, but the page numbers are totally different. And that can be what is very confusing. Here we go. So you can see it is 2 pieces. Oh, look at that. Boop. It is 2 pieces of 8.5 by 11 paper, printed double-sided. So it is 2 8-page zines put together. But in order to slide one inside the other, you have to get the pagination correct. So if you download this template, I give you all the pagination. So you can see this is page 13, but this is page 4, right? This is page 16, but this is page 1. So this could be the cover, but it could also be page 1 inside of like a cardstock cover. And then 16 would be the last page, the final page before the cover. Right? Then we have page 14, then we have page 3. So it's not intuitive. That's the best word. It's not an intuitive pagination. The way that, the mini zine is, where you can just follow it around, kind of like a game board almost. So this is the 16-page quarter zine. You just fold it in half, print it double-sided, but double check your double-sided printing, because sometimes what happens is that one page will print up like this, and then another page will print up like that. So it'll be upside down. So all the like verso pages will be upside down from the front pages. Anyway, the point being, you can download all of these templates, and then you can upload them to your pages, and then you can use them as templates. So every time that you say open a new file, you have the choice to choose one of these things. That is what I have for you. So the link down below, it says, need some help, download my pages templates. That's what I use. But why are we here? We are here because it is time for Sunday Zine number 4. So somebody joined the jam this morning. I get notifications. I should turn that off because, to be honest, I don't care that much about notifications for people joining. I care about the submissions, like I want to see, but like people join jams just randomly, right? Like they just look at the list and they just join something. I do it too, so I know that other people do it. But somebody joined this morning, and then I was like, oh wait, I haven't joined my own jam yet. I did this very last minute last night. So I'm going to join the jam. This week's theme, let's just double check. You can read that. Yes, you can read that. This week's theme is next. Let me just say that I got my heart broken twice this week. Obviously, everyone's thinking about the American election. I'm Canadian, so it really very much affects me and my country. Ever since 2016, Canada has been following the United States into their descent into conservatism, which is what we call it up here. We have a conservative party, which are basically the Republican Party, a tiny more left than the Republican Party, but not that far. I mean, they have like that, fundamentalist Christian right flavor to them. It's just that the difference here is that Canada has a lot more. I mean, we have more social programs. That's one of the biggest things. Canada has a few more guardrails that stop the Conservative Party from doing a lot of stuff. I don't want to talk about this a lot, though. To be honest, I really don't. It's just depressing. But we have an election next year. Our election will happen within a year. It has to happen before October next year. So I predict it's going to be the Conservative Party. The fact that the Republicans won in the United States means that the Conservatives are probably going to win here. And that's very depressing to me. But, and this is the silly part, is that my favorite television show that I've been using as comfort this year also disappointed me this year by breaking up my favorite couple. So I'm having a really bad week, and I didn't want to make anything this week. But one of the things that helps you to navigate depression, I will not say get out, because I've never been out of it in my entire adult life. But one of the things that helps you to navigate depression is making something and feeling like you're doing something, that you can still do something. So one of the things that I do is I write by hand. And I honestly feel like this practice is something that is very good for me and my brain. The fact that it's not just typing, it is writing, it is paper, it is pen, it is ink. You know, I even have this manual ink date stamp. And so this is what we do. After terrible things happen to us, after the world disappoints us, this is what we do. We keep going. And the thing that I kept thinking about this week is the cheesiest, most the thing that I kept thinking about is in The West Wing, which was one of my absolute favorite television shows. It came out when I was 19 when it started. So it was like formative, absolutely a formative experience watching that television show. I love it. I still love it. I have no shame in my love for that show and for my love in their optimism for the world, that people can still do great things. And one of the catchphrases, I suppose, of that show is President Bartlett says, "What's next?" He's like, we're done talking about this. I've made up my mind. I know what I'm going to do. And now we have to talk about what's next. So that was my inspiration here is what's next. And I don't know, where can we see the photo? This is one of the things that bothers me about Itch, is that the image is there, but you click into the page and the image is gone. Maybe we look at community and we can see it. Yeah, there we go. So this is no, you can't see it big. This is the cover. This is the cover image that I came up with last night. Because this was the thing that was, because I hadn't really settled on a topic. I hadn't exactly decided what the image should be. And one of the things that I do when I try to come up with these images and these prompts for this jam, one of the very first things that I did for the very first jam is that I just went to Unsplash and I just scrolled and I found something that had an interesting textured pattern. Because I don't want a photo, I want a pattern. I want it to kind of like be in the background and fade. I don't want it to be like, here's a photo of 4 people. And I went to Unsplash last night, and one of the trending searches was bridges. And that made me go, oh, what's next? The bridge. We have to build the bridge. So that's what this image is from. So that's what we have to figure out. What's next? Now, all of that is to say, your zine does not have to be about that. Your zine does not have to be about how the world broke your heart this week. Your zine is only have to be about next. So, however you want to interpret this prompt, something about it made me pause a little bit because it doesn't have that same like double meaning the way that Pool and Aurora and Speed did. But I went with it anyway because that's what I wanted. That's what I was feeling. So we are going to, link is down below, by the way, to this jam. So join the jam if you want to. We're going to start with 15 minutes. And I'm going to mute my mic and we're going to write. And if you want to join me in that writing, pick up a pen, paper, pencil if you like it. You can type if you want. It's okay. It's okay to do your morning pages typing. But what I want you to think about while you're writing your morning pages is that you don't stop. You don't edit yourself. You don't try to make your sentences perfect. If you make a mistake, you just cross it out and keep going. I don't even worry about erasers or whiteout. I just make a mess on the page. You just write everything that is in your brain and let it go. Thank you, JR the Pinwitch. Thank you for joining. Thank you for hanging out today. So, 15 minutes. We're going to try to get some ideas on the page. We're going to kind of get the cruft out of our brains, especially I have only been awake for just not even an hour yet. So, I'm going to try to just like shake up my brain a little bit. That's what I love about morning pages. So, here we go. We're going to mute. We're going to write. And I'll see you soon. I just looked up and it's stuck at 1 second. What's happening? What's happening on that website? Oh, there we go. So that was a little bit more than, I wonder how much more than 15 minutes was that. I looked up when it was like 2:20 or something like that. That was very weird, huh? All right, it looks like we focused for 15 minutes, 16 seconds. So it got stuck for 16 seconds. Why does it do that? I don't know. One thing I will say is that if you remember me talking about this website, it actually does have a to-do list. So, but the only thing is, I actually did do that. So, I didn't complete it today, but I did do that. It doesn't stay up there. So, like, you have to open it and then close it. So that was probably why I dismissed it before as like not what I wanted. I just kind of have to accept that they don't have what I want. I'm going to write 15 minutes. I like to write, and I didn't finish the sentence, so I like to write when I start, so like the time when I start. Because I think it's kind of, it shows me a little bit like when am I doing it? So like if I don't write my morning pages until like 10 p.m. at night, it's like, oh, that was a bad day. But if I can get it done like before noon, it's like, all right, I took some time and I wrote. But yeah, doing it at 10 p.m. is not good. I think that I'm going to turn off this camera now because I don't think you're going to watch me write. And we're going to flip over to pages because I kind of have an idea. I kind of a little bit have an idea. Also, I just need to, man, I moved to this new table and then I just filled the table. You know that, what is that law that like the work expands to fill the time? I feel like that's very true of space too, right? Like your possessions expand to fill the space that you have. Very true. All right, we got 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes 35. I'm going to finish my coffee because it's almost too cold. Yeah, it's too cold. All right. So, what's next? As President Bartlett would say. What's next? I'm trying to find some space. Because also, let's take a look at my desk again. I love this mouse pad. It is if you can't tell, it's a giant fried egg, but like it is giant. It is not the regular size of a mouse pad, right? It's at least twice as big as a regular mouse pad. So as much as I do love it as an aesthetic thing, it's a little bit inconvenient. Especially when I have to prop up my microphone. So I have this box that's in front of me. I think I was looking at the IKEA website the other day. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my phone on its stand away from me. IKEA has a mic arm, like one of those like boom arm things. that you can attach to your desk. I think I'm going to pick that up because I think that would be a good idea. I actually have the IKEA ring light, which is not bad. It's not a terrible ring light. But I never use it. I really only use it like it's a light, right? I don't use it like a ring light, like the classic put your phone in the middle. Whoa, did the time just jump from 26 to 5? Was that right? Yeah, something's definitely going on there. Very weird. Okay. Let's start a focus. No. We're not going to start focus because I want to start 25 minutes. We're going to change it to 25. All right. And now we're going to open pages. Here we go. So the thing about the mini zine is that it's mini. It's only one side of an 8.5 by 11 paper, and 2 of those pages of the 8 are front and back cover. So it's a rather easy template to fill, which is why I use it so often. See, now, why is that bigger? You were perfectly... Did I change it from the other scene? Okay. Maybe I did. Yes, I did. I did, didn't I? So this was the zine that I started last week. And I didn't do any writing this week. Like I said, the aforementioned heartbreak. Like the worst part is like the election happened on Tuesday, and we pretty much knew before, well, at least on the West Coast, before I went to bed. And then my TV show happened on Thursday. So it's not like it was right on the heels, but it was it was the whole week. It was the whole week. And it sucks, and it still sucks. And it's going to continue to suck. I mean, it's not that things have been great for the last 4 years. This is what we have to remember, right? A lot of people start freaking out after these kinds of elections happen, right? And you're going to see this in Canada next year. But we have to remember that lots of people have already been living through, a lot of Indigenous Canadians, they will say that they are living in a post-apocalyptic world, right? They have been living in a post-apocalyptic world, which is what we call colonialism. The last 4 years were not great for everybody. People with privilege, like myself, can ignore a lot of stuff when left-leaning politicians are in power. And then we freak out when right-wing politicians get into power. But we need to be working all the time, right? Not freaking out. It's like you take the day to mourn and grieve, and then you got to keep going. That's why it's what's next. That's why we're doing what's next. So here's the question. Should I do still want to make this zine, my zine about jam, because I think it's funny. I think it's a funny idea, but I didn't write anything this week for this zine. So I don't really know what I'm doing with it. We might just set it aside for today and do something else. Let's take a look at some of these pages, though. Some of these pages that already have writing on them. Bev, in the comments of my last video, had a very good idea that we should try to make it darker. So if you remember last time, I was looking at the opacity, thinking like, oh, if I turn the opacity down, then text will stand out. But she had the idea that if we make it darker, so here we have exposure and saturation, and I wonder if we can make it so exposure would go down, right? Yeah, to make it darker. And saturation would go up or down. Well, that doesn't seem like it's changing anything. Oh, what's going on there? Interesting. Let's just reset that. Let's look at what the enhance says. Oh, look at that. It does it for you. So that actually is a little bit better, but I do think that the white text is just not good. Yeah. So we could try this. You know, like this one, this marmalade page down here, because it has such a dark, well, I think this is a pot, right? It has such a dark background. If we enhance this, this is going to be very good. And now we can make this text white. And that's absolutely going to stand out. But it's not going to stand out so well on the other ones, right? It might stand out well on this one with the jam. Let's see what the rest of them look like if we enhance all of them. This auto enhance. See, the thing about the auto enhance is that I wonder, just tonally, it kind of doesn't match each other, does it? Wait, did I leave the, no, because the exposure and saturation were. Oh, you can do actual levels in here. Okay, that's interesting. So you actually could get like really granular. It's fascinating that, you know, this program, Pages, that I've been using, I suppose forever, because I've been on a Mac since 2003. 2002? 2003. So this definitely does look better. Thank you very much, Bev. Excellent suggestion. But at the same time, it doesn't look great. It does look better. It doesn't look great. We still have to figure out where the text goes, right? Where the text belongs. And, you know, maybe I definitely feel like, so like going back to the idea of the templates, I definitely feel like I get stuck in these ruts of like, you know, it worked before, let's do the same thing. Just fill up the pages, right? But there's nothing that says that, you know, these pages have to be full text, right? I don't have to write paragraphs. I don't even have to write sentences. I could just write, you know what? I think we're making this zine now today. I think we're doing it. Because I'm looking at this strawberry page, okay? So the strawberry page, wait, there we go. The strawberry page has these two big dark spots in it. We could move the text so that they are only in the dark spots and just make it like a little sentence or so. Whoops, No, wrong text box. Oh no, where did it go? There it is. It disappeared. So many layers, so many layers in this document now. Right? So we could like move it. So it's like literally just there in the dark spot. And then take this one that says jelly. And we move it here in this dark spot so that you can read it, right? And the marmalade can kind of stay there, because we don't need to move it around. Just for like aesthetics sake, I'd probably put it, maybe it would be good right there. And the chutney doesn't have a ton of dark spots, but we could put it right there. Yeah. Maybe there. Yeah. And then Jello has some great places to put it. Right there. And jelly babies. Maybe, no, it's a little bit too long, but I think, no, it does fit there. Yes, that works. That works. Now, I do kind of want to write a sentence to go with all of these, because the purpose of this zine is to talk about the differences, right? We're just going to save. Control S, save. So the purpose is to talk about how they are different. What are the differences between them? So I do kind of want a little sentence, but I think it would be interesting if all of the definitions felt a little bit, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like it was the same sentence with different words slotted into it, right? So they had kind of like a similar structure, I suppose is what I'm saying. Similar syntax, right? Structure and syntax. So, like, if we think about the difference between marmalade and chutney. Now, to me, marmalade is a jam that has the peel. And chutney is a marmalade that has spice, right? Because chutney also has lots of chunks and stuff in it. Like you keep big pieces. Whereas jam has like pulp in it, but it's fairly, I don't want to say it's fairly uniform, because it's really not. Jam definitely does exist on a spectrum, where some people like a really smooth jam. Some people, I like a really chunky jam. So I like a jam that has lots of chunks in it. So what do we say? Jam is, because if I say marmalade is a jam that has peel, zest, I cannot say jam is a jam, right? That's not how definitions work. You can't use the same word in the definition, or else nobody understands it. Jam is preserved fruit. Maybe we do something with ingredients. Having a list of ingredients, that could be interesting. So less a sentence and more a list. An ingredient list. Let's try this. Let's see what we can come up with. I do really like this layout though. Now that I'm looking at it in the OBS window now, which makes it much smaller. I really like it, and how the words, like something about it, this might sound very pretentious. Something about it has like a very Barbara Kruger-ness to it for me. Like it looks like it's conceptual art. But at the same time, it's kind of got like that Richard scariness of like we label everything on the page. We definitely still do need to deal with the covers, you know. I do understand that. Especially that last page. That last page just is not working out. Something has got to give. So what? Maybe we need a different. So this is black. No. And I'm going to click down the gradient of black. Yeah. These are all worse, right? Gray is worse. That is not working. So maybe we do like a really dark red. No. That doesn't work either. Nope. I really do think that what's going to work is to put a colored box behind it. I kind of feel like that's the only thing that's going to work. So we'll try. So because this is the entire, it is the entire box. I don't want to just, because up here in style, you can fill the box. So we could do, right, like that. But then it's the whole back page, and I don't want that. But what do? We do white, and then turn the opacity. Like let's do 50. Let's see what the 50 looks like. That's 50. Oh, no, because that turns the text opaque too. No, we don't want that. We want the text to be 100. We want only the background. Okay. So color fill is not going to work. No fill. Which means that we have to take a shape and I do think that white is going to be the color here. And then we're going to, I want it right in the center. And I just want it to cover the text. Maybe there. We will adjust this after we look at the opacity. And then we do opacity 50. And in arrange, we're going to go back one. No? Okay, why isn't that working? I want it to go behind the text. Why is that? That's weird. Is that not weird to you? Okay. And we take the text and bring it all the way front. There we go. I don't know why that didn't work. Okay. See? This is better, right? Because you can still see the image through the back, but the text is on top of that opaque white. It makes it stand out. I think we are gonna maybe, let's look at 60 That's 60%. And then let's look at 70%. And 80. I think that's the one. For the sake of people have got to be able to read this thing, right? What is the point of writing if people can't read it? So I think we're also going to do the same thing over here. I'm thinking I might just delete this and then copy and paste. I want it to fit the same. Yeah. And then I don't know really what we're going to call this. I'm kind of preserved fruit. Oh. But I don't know. I didn't love the last title from the aesthetic purposes. I didn't love how those words went together on the page. So we might call it something different. I mean, we're definitely going to make this big. So I think we will. Let's see, because even those two words don't look good together. You know, even if you centered them, there's just too much difference. I like the idea of calling it an information bulletin. Maybe we call it, I gotta move my keyboard. I keep forgetting how to spell bulletin. All right. So this doesn't fit. Text is too big. But then this is not true because many of these things that we're talking about are not actually fruit, such as Jell-O and Jelly Babies. They may contain some fruit juice, but I very much doubt it. I don't think Jell-O has any actual fruit in it. If we put preserved at the front, I don't think it's going to look good. Preserved fruit information bulletin. Where I wanted this to be kind of a funny, boring title. To me, this is just boring. This is just boring. It's not funny, boring. It's just boring. I think we need a better word for preserved fruit. I think information bulletin can stay, right? Information bulletin sounds funny. Just did a quick save. But the preserved fruit's not working for me. Oh, we are on our final minute of focusing. We have been focusing for almost 25 minutes now. We just passed the hour. Just past the hour of working on this scene. I think we can finish it today, right? We can get this done. I think that I'm going to, for the break, instead of sitting here and rambling at you for the break, I'm actually going to mute my mic and write again. Oh wait, did I forget to I forgot to turn that off. I think I'm gonna sit and write for that 5 minutes. Yeah, I got frozen again. I don't know why it does that. I'm gonna take 5 minutes. I'm gonna write, see if I can come up with the title and the definitions. And then we will do another focus session, maybe 15 minutes, maybe not 20, 25. And we're going to finish the zine today. We are. I know that I haven't been finishing a lot of them lately. It's taken me some time. But today we're going to finish this one. So let's start the 5-minute break. It dinged, but it still says 17 seconds. This app, I might have to try something different because this app is not working. I did write a little bit. I think I have it. I started with the ingredient list and I didn't like it because the ingredient list is too similar. It doesn't tell you the difference between what it feels like or what it spreads like. So we're going to do the 25 minutes. I think that I'm going to need that 25 minutes. So we're going to start just because I'm not there yet. I'm not quite there yet. We're going to get there, but I'm not there yet. Okay. Pages. So. And I still don't have a title. So what I'm thinking, what I wrote that I like is jam has bits of fruit. I think that we're starting from a place thinking that we all know what it is to start with, right? We're starting from a baseline. And so we're saying jam has bits of fruit. Jelly has no bits, is only fruit juice. Marmalade has bits of peel. Chutney has spice. Or maybe we should say bits and spice. This is what I'm working on. So we're gonna move some stuff around because I'm not gonna hold this while I write. And we're gonna move this. All right. So the other thing that I'm thinking as I look at this zine is that we definitely do need a different font. We definitely need, and now that I moved my mouse pad out of the way, I need my mouse. We definitely need a chunkier font, just like chutney. So we're going to try. We want something a little bit thicker, but not wow, there's not a lot of thick fonts in here, are there? I need a thick font. Maybe we can look at some bolds. Yeah, okay, look at that's Georgia bold. That actually looks good. That looks good. Let's try it. Ooh. Oh, it's too bold. Too bold. Yeah, the bold actually does look good. I do kind of like it. Do we like that 13 point? The kerning is really cramped though, huh? What's up with that? Do we want to put some space? That looks better, right? On 2%. I think that looks better. Whoa. Oh. I updated it to be black. I don't want it to be black. I want all the rest of them to be white. There we go. And then this one is black. And this one will be black. But all the rest of them are going to be white. Okay. I do like that. I think that is way better. Glad we revisited that. Okay. Also, I gotta change Jello because it is a brand name. It's capital J E L L hyphen O. And actually, Jelly Babies, I wonder, is that a brand name? Does anyone know? Let's look it up. I mean, the funny thing is that I don't call them Jelly Babies. I'm just using that because it has jelly in the title and it's a Doctor Who thing, so I know it. Yes, okay. So that is a brand name. And it is 2 words. Good to know. So we are going to change. Like I like Jelly Babies because it is the confusion of jelly, right? That's what we're talking about here. And it's fun to say. But now it doesn't really fit in our dark spot, does it? I think right there. I think that's the best place it fits. Maybe up here. No, it's too. Oh, maybe right there. Oh, I think that's too far over, isn't it? Yeah, that's not even on the page anymore. All right, maybe there. I think it fits better that side. Yes. Maybe. This would work on all the other pages, but not so much the marmalade page. I was thinking maybe we do the definition in black text so that we could have jam here in white, but then come down here and put this in black. It would give good contrast too, right? So jam. We're going to write bits of fruit. It's very much like concrete poetry, isn't it? It has like a, I know I said conceptual art earlier, but this is reminding me a little bit more of like concrete poetry. All right, and then for jelly, we're going to write fruit juice. And I think we're going to put it, I want to like stagger them. And then marmalade, I think we have to keep it in the white font because it's just not going to look good anywhere else. We're going to say bits of peel. And for chutney, we're going to say, I suppose that what I'm actually doing here is just highlighting the thing that makes it different, because here I'm going to say spices. And then for Jello, I am going to say, I'm going to paste and I think maybe we could do black at the, we gotta flip it first. Yeah, we can do down here. So this one's going to be gelatin. But then one of my conundrums is, what's the difference between Jell-O with gelatin and jelly babies, which also must have gelatin in them, right? To make them hard. They just have more gelatin than Jell-O. Let's look at that Jelly Baby page again. So they were known as Peace Babies because they were made in 1918. Right? Main ingredient is gelatin. So, like, what is the difference? I did not know that fans threw Jelly Babies at George Harrison because he told them that he liked it. That is funny. And terrible, because in the United States they threw jelly beans. That would have been, getting hit by a jelly baby is not that bad. It's not great, and also, like, if you're a beetle and they're throwing tons of them at you. So what is the difference? Do I just write more gelatin? So, like, Jell-O. Gelatin dessert. Main ingredients. Oh, I don't. Can you see that behind my head? Okay. Main ingredients: powdered gelatin, sugar, artificial sweetener, artificial flavors, and food coloring. Because there's no fruit in there. So, how do we talk about the difference between Jell-O and Jelly Babies if they both have gelatin as their prime ingredient? I would say their identifying ingredient, but they have very different textures. So how do we write that to match the rest of the pages, right? Because I am not writing sentences here now. Now I'm just writing ingredients. That's all it is. I'm just writing what is the different thing. What is different? Jam has fruit. Marmalade has peel. Do we say gelatin and chewiness? And chew? Maybe? Because that is the difference, right? It is gelatin, but it is harder. You got to chew it. Rather than Jell-O, which you can quite literally drink in the case of Jell-O shots. And the question is, should we change some of the other ones to add a little bit more? Like I mean, jelly does usually have more sugar in it than jam. I mean, also jam, all of these other ones, they all have pectin. So do we add that? Right? Jam you can usually make with fruit and sugar. Jelly almost always you add pectin to it, because I think if you just do sugar, it's just not enough. You're not going to get the right. It's just going to be syrupy, right? It's going to be liquid. I do not make jelly. I should say that. I should say that off the top. I have made it once and I messed it up because I did the things in the wrong order, because I am not a recipe person. I do not enjoy following recipes. I love the idea of a recipe. Just tell me the ingredients and then I'll do what I want with them. I'm very bad at following the order of things, and it is definitely I have definitely screwed the pooch. Like with jelly, I can tell you, we put the sugar in before we had done the straining, so it just did not strain that much. Why does this not look aligned? This box and this box, they look like they're not, the pixels between them look off. And I don't know what that is. Is it not? It's not in the center of the page. It's not snapping. It's not snapping to the center. Why is it not snapping to the center like that? That's frustrating. It's only snapping to the edges. Maybe and that's not snapping to the edges. Okay. That's the center. Oh, that's not the center though. That's off. Everything is off right now. This one might be center. There we go. That one's in the center. But this one will not. How do we make it? How do I force it to snap? It won't. That is very frustrating. We need to, what you can do is you can turn the snapping off. I just never remember where. Maybe it's under arrange. No. Maybe I could align it. Could I align it to the center? No, because that's center of the page. That's not what I want. Oh, what is that? It's aligning with the jelly down here. Is that what you're aligning with? Okay, let's get rid of the jelly. Nope. It is not. Okay, so is the difference of 31 centimeters. If I put it at 7.15, will that be center? That definitely looks off. I don't know if it's just me, but it looks off. I'll put jelly back in its spot. Bits of peel can go there. I know it seems silly, but it looks off. It doesn't look that bad though now. I do think it looks better than before, but it still looks off to me. That's frustrating. Okay. Maybe we do gelatin and shape. Technically Jello, of course. You can do shapes of Jello. That was all the rage when I was a kid in the 80s. Jello jigglers. But gelatin and form, perhaps. But I think form is actually a bad word because that is kind of the default Jello, right? Is that you put it into a form. You put it into either a Jello mold. Yeah. Maybe we say gelatin in shapes. And for Jello, we say gelatin in molds. Not particularly poetic, but it does work. It is taxonomically correct. Yeah. Gelatin in shapes, gelatin in molds. Yeah. Not bad, right? Kind of a weird one. Where are we? Where are we in terms of our time? Yeah, we got 3 minutes. Okay, so we definitely needed all of that 25 minutes because we haven't even fixed the cover yet. So, but I like this. Maybe not my best work, but this is the process, right? You know that very famous apocryphal story about the pottery class and how the teacher splits the class into 2 groups, and the teacher says, one side I'm going to mark based on your one best pot. So you choose, make your pots, and then you choose the one, and I will mark that one. And then the other half of the class, the teacher says, I'm going to mark how many pots that you make. The more pots that you make, the better your mark is going to be. And the story goes that the half of the class that made more pots because they were being marked on quantity actually made better pots because they just kept going. Whereas when you try to make one perfect thing, you never make it. And you plan and plan and plan and worry and worry and worry. And then even when you get started, you just keep fixing it over and over again. And you never move on and learn from what wasn't working. And you just keep trying to make it work. And in my life, there has been a lot of truth to that story. The story itself may not be true, but there is truth in it because I have been stuck trying to write my second book after I wrote The Magic of Pockets. I've been stuck for officially 2 years, but longer than 2 years because my book came out in October 2022, but I was done it months before that. And I just can't make myself do it. So it's like, I just got to make a crappy book, right? I got to make a crappy zine before I can make a good zine. So that's what it's funny to say it, but that is what this exercise is, right? That is what the practice of Sunday Zine Club is you just make something. Make it and finish it and do it. And did I spell gelatin wrong? Is that why it's underlined? Oh, gelatine. It wants me to spell it. Okay. That's just a regional difference then. I'm pretty sure here in Canada we don't put an E on it. So all we need is a title, and then this one is done. And then we move on, right? We always just move on to the next one. It's one of the things that I've always loved about blogging is because the way that a blog works is that like the next post goes to the top, right? So if you have a kind of mediocre post, there we go, that was 25 minutes. If you have like a mediocre post at the top of your blog, it's going to motivate you to just write the next one and just push it down into the archive, right? So we're going to get this one out. We're going to take the 5 more minutes of our break. We're doing Pomodoros in the weirdest way today, I know. But we're going to take our 5-minute break and figure out, this title. Maybe we just make it fruit information. No, that's not that. I did that before, didn't I? Yeah, that doesn't work because it's not fruit. It is a specific kind of fruit that we're talking about here. Maybe condiment? Fruit condiment? Maybe just preserves. Maybe we just do preserves. I mean, technically Jell-O and Jelly Babies are not preserves. Preserves information bulletin. And we also need to make this small, don't we? We need to make it small so that it fits. I do kind of like making it left justified too. We could just do agriculture, culinary information bulletin. That could be interesting. Because if we do culinary information bulletin number 1, we could make this a series, right? Anytime that I don't have an idea, I can always come back and make bulletin number 2. And we could do like, the difference between different cuts of meat or something, or different shapes of pasta. That would be a great one. I kind of like it. I think that's it. I think that's going to work. I think we're going to change the date on it just to be a little bit more accurate about when it was actually written and finished. And I also think that the title doesn't need to be the whole page. We can change this. We might do like maybe down here. And then this way we can actually see a little bit more of this amazing tomato canning party picture. I like it. We did it, folks. We did it. It's done. I am going to save and I will export and upload to Itch later today. I'm not going to do it right now just because I'm trying to finish in this last 5 minutes. 1 minute, 23 seconds. But also I'm going to need to make a cover. And I got to do that in a different window. You know, I keep forgetting to set up that other window. I'll do that because, you know, it'll be good for you to see that. That's it, folks. We did it. We made a zine. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Remember that you can join the jam. 53 seconds to go. You can join Sunday Zine Club. The jam literally just started this morning. So you have 27 days, 22 hours, 6 minutes, and 17 seconds. And the theme is next. So take some time, think about it. I'm going to be thinking about it this week. Absolutely. I'm going to be thinking about what I want to do. And we got 10 seconds. How much time? 5. Thank you so much. And I will see you next week. We did it. Congratulations. And I will press this stop streaming button.